Some of you already know parts of my story. How I grew up in a home marked by addiction, alcoholism, violence. It was loud, it was chaotic, unpredictable. I've shared some of this in earlier videos, but today I want to return to it. Not to stay in the pain, that's not why we go back there, but to show you again why creativity isn't just a nice idea, it's a lifeline. So you've probably heard someone say when you've asked them how they're doing, just surviving, bro. And I always wonder, why? Why should we settle for just surviving life when we're made to thrive? One of the deepest wounds in my life came from my brother, Eddie. He and I, we shared a special connection when I was just a young child, but as I grew, I watched him slip deeper and deeper into addiction, in and out of treatment, in and out of conflict with my father. My mother caught in the exhausting cycle of codependency. And me, well, I stepped into the role of caretaker because that's what happens in families marked by dysfunction. You love someone so much that you try to rescue them even when you can't. And if you've ever been in that particular role, you know the helplessness, don't you? The despair, the weight of watching someone you love fall apart right in front of you. I really loved Eddie. I loved him deeply, and I longed desperately for him to return to the man I remembered. But addiction, it took him further and further away until eventually it took his life. When he died, I was swallowed again by grief. That particular kind of grief, it isn't clean, it isn't linear. It's a storm that throws you down, that pulls you under and convinces you that you might never come up for air. But here's what happened. I picked up my creativity, and my creativity picked me up. In drawing and writing and photography, I found a way to move through the storm rather than just brace against it. Creativity, it kept me grounded when grief wanted to tear me apart. It helped me not just white knuckle the pain, but walk with it, feel it, express it. And in the process, something changed me. I didn't come out of that season the same. Creativity had carried me through, and because of it, I came out more compassionate, more resilient, more intentional, more human, different in ways that only pain and the act of creating through pain can carve into you. That's why I can say today, creativity didn't just help me survive, it helped me live. So let's start by talking about survival. Creativity isn't a decoration, it's survival. When life closes in, when loss knocks the wind out of you, when despair, when it whispers that you're done, creativity is breath. Think of the samurai gripping his sword in battle. For us, the brush, the pen, the camera, the melody, these are our swords. They cut through silence, they cut through chaos, and keep us from collapsing into nothingness. Without creativity, survival often feels like numbness. With it, survival becomes an act of presence, a refusal to give up. Now let's talk about sanctuary. Creativity builds walls that no one can breach. It becomes your secret dojo, a place where you can step away from the noise, the conflict, the shame, the despair. In the sanctuary of creativity, you're no longer just a caretaker or a victim of circumstance or a number in someone else's story. You're the creator. You're the builder. You're the author. When grief tried to devour me, my sanctuary was the page. It was the sketch. It was the photograph. It was the one place that I wasn't powerless. It was the one place where I could tell the truth. Now let's talk about healing. Science, of course, can explain some of it, right? Creativity, it calms the nervous system. It reshapes the brain. It helps us process trauma. But beyond science, I think there's mystery. When you create, pain bleeds out of you and into color, into word or an image. And once it's out, it changes shape. It becomes bearable. It becomes something you can look at instead of something that only crushes you from within. We don't just make art. Art remakes us. Every brushstroke, every shutter click, every sentence becomes proof that suffering can be carried. It can be transformed. It can be redeemed. Now let's talk about meaning. Viktor Frankl said, those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. Creativity is how we find our why. It's not about producing something perfect. It's about making meaning. Saying with your art, my life matters, my voice matters, my story matters. When you create, you're planting a flag in the ground that declares, I'm still here. And sometimes that declaration alone is enough to save your life. So here's my challenge to you. Don't wait for creativity to be convenient. Don't wait for the perfect time, the perfect place, or the perfect project. See it for what it truly is, your weapon, your sanctuary, your healer, your meaning maker. When life presses in, when grief or despair wants to drown you, create, write, paint, photograph, build, sing, sculpt, film. Because creativity, it may not just save your day, it may save your life. Now go. Honor truth, face what is, speak what's real, and create from the deepest place you know.